Today I'm going to be ranking every song on You by Underscores. Underscores is the pseudonym of pop singer April Harper Grey, who has been putting out hyperpop adjacent music for quite a few years at this point now. And this new album sees her going in a much more mainstream, catchy, and less noisy direction than on previous releases. And I gotta say, I'm a big fan of it, and I'm excited to get into it. At number 9 is going to be Innuendo, I Get It, which is a song where I like the lyrical topic of the song, where we keep getting this refrain of "tell me but don't tell me." The whole thing is built around this idea of innuendo, elements of a relationship that are known by both parties but going unsaid. But the thing that sort of brings it down for me to the lowest spot on this list is that I just find the production on this one to be not all that colorful or interesting compared to most of the other songs on the album. At number 8 is going to be Hollywood Forever, and this is one where my enjoyment level of the song varies throughout the course of the song. So you get a first verse that's very subdued but still relatively solid. And then the second verse, in my opinion, is easily the best part of the song, where you have a lot of this pretty creative, colorful, varied production, a lot of great musical ideas going into it. But then where the song kind of loses me is in the second half when these really big, like EDM style beats kick in. And I don't know, I guess it's just not my thing. I didn't really care for that element of the song. And so it sort of brought down my enjoyment level of the whole thing. At number 7 is going to be Body Feeling. This is a pretty catchy late album track that starts off very simple and then gets a lot more dense as the song goes on. I like it quite a bit, but I guess just in the grand scheme of the album, it doesn't quite stand out as like one of the highlights. At number 6 is going to be Do It, and this one, for some reason, seems to be the fan favorite. I'm not entirely sure why, because to me, I feel like there are much catchier and more colorful and more memorable songs on the album. But, nevertheless, even if it isn't like my favorite song on the album, it is still a well-produced banger that I like. At number 5 is going to be Wish You Well. And this is one of the most musically complex songs on the album with just a lot going on. So much that I think if April was a lesser artist, this song would not have turned out all that well. But this song is actually quite good. I love the way the subtle touches of acoustic instruments interact with the more electronic elements. I also think this is a very relatable and fitting lyrical note to end the album on, where it's basically talking about, this feeling of wanting to wish someone well, a former lover, even if deep down you're still in the process of trying to get over them. At number 4 is going to be The Peace. I love this one. The backing instrumentation is primarily made up of these glitchy, layered vocal harmonies that just really hit my soul. And then you have April singing atop it with a lot of very touching lyrics and this really great like smoking motif that keeps coming up throughout the song. At number 3 is going to be Music. This is a really great one with these choppy beats on the verses that are punctuated by these giant soaring choruses. And I also think that the beat drop in the second half of this song, while in some ways it's kind of similar to a song like Hollywood Forever, I think here it goes over a lot better and it kicks ass. At number 2 for me is going to be Love Field. And this is the most intimate song on the album with just these sort of soft keys and then April's raw voice singing over it. And I guess a little bit later into the song, a bit of a beat kicks in. And it's so simple, so basic, and yet like never has pop music greatness sounded so effortless because everything is on point here. The tune, the production, the lyrics, it's just a great song. But at number 1 is going to be Tell Me You Want It. This was the lead single to the album, and for me it was just love at first listen. I think this is basically a perfect hyperpop song with a tight structure, a great chorus, and some of the best pop production you'll hear this year. With songs like this, I'm sure that You will end up easily proving to be one of the best pop albums of this year. And yeah, that's what I have to say about it. If you disagree with my list, feel free to tell me in the comments. And with that said, thank you for watching.